Hi, it's Tootie Tagerly, live on Tuesdays. And today I'm going to talk about focusing on what's right and not what's wrong. There's so many times, so many years that I've spent really looking for the cracks. Gay Hendricks writes in his book, The Upper Limit, that many successful people, high performing people, we will create artificial barriers for ourselves. These upper limits, these false upper limits, so that when we get to a place where we feel really, really happy, really, really successful, that everything's going well, that we don't trust it. We don't trust that it's going to last. We don't trust that it's going to be good. We don't trust that we don't trust that we deserve it. So instead, when we get to this place, what we end up doing is we look around and we look for the cracks. We look for the trouble. We look for the problems and all the risks around that are going to be fixed. And a little bit of this is being very, very hyper vigilant, almost like the story of the boy who cried wolf, and just being like, wolf there, wolf there, wolf there. There's a danger in that. For many years in meetings, one of my, I'd say, types, my Enneagram types is 8, the challenger. I fluctuate between 7, the enthusiast, and 8, the challenger. And one of them is that when somebody was presenting an idea or a story in a meeting, my first instinct is to put on a very rational brain and ask questions. Be like, well, what about this? What about this? It could fail here. Here's a rebuttal. It was really the continually playing of devil's advocate. And, I thought I was protecting the team, helping them think about all the different issues, but something like that really damages the relationship. It really damages the idea. It really kills and dampens the energy. So instead, challenge us as leaders to focus on what's right and not what's wrong. Because if you think about it, one of the things that we do is we lead to inspire and support, especially in more modern companies, tech companies. In a one-on-one, we are supporting and leading and managing individuals who are very highly motivated, incentivized, autonomous, and they know how to do their job. They mostly know how to do their job really well. So it doesn't help in a one-on-one if you're focusing on, hey, you did this wrong, you did this wrong, you did this wrong. Instead, really focus on what's right by inspiring them, supporting them, telling them what they're doing well and how they could take it up even a notch if they wanted. I've heard two research facts about the amount of positive feedback and versus the amount of negative feedback that you're supposed to give to a person. Sometimes I've heard anecdotally 7-1, 7 pieces of positive to 1 negative. The other times I've heard 3-1. And the reason why is that the negative stuff really sticks. Focusing on what's wrong really sticks. We all take it really personally. We ruminate. We're like, okay, this is what I can do. This is what I can fix. Whereas hearing what we do well, so many of us deflect it. We can't take a compliment. We'll be like, ha ha ha, yeah, you're wearing a really nice dress too. Or just like, wow, anyone would have done that. So it's a lot of deflection because it's hard for us to take in compliments. So as a leader, it's really important you lead to inspire and support because it's so hard for team members and for us to do it for ourselves. So the second part that's super important to think about when focusing on what's right and not what's wrong is developing a culture of celebration. Typically, when we're working towards a goal or a milestone or an aim, we're running towards it as fast as we can. And once we've gotten to it, it's like, okay, that's cool. There's the next one. There's the next one. So the problem is the goalposts keep on moving. And when you're in that moment, when you're trying to do and achieve a thing, it is really, really hard. And yet once you've done it, once you've moved past it, we have a bias. We think it's already easy because we're done with it and we don't even think about it at all. So it's important in terms of focusing on what's right and not what's wrong to build a culture of celebration. What would it look like in the next team meeting you have to start with, hey, what are the wins? What are the things we want to celebrate? What are the kudos we want to give to other people? Could be for ourselves, or it could be for the team as a whole. How do we build these into rituals and processes? How do you build these into your one-on-ones? How do you help support your team members by saying celebrate, celebrate? And then the last part to think about is that I really think one of the hardest parts of leadership is not necessarily telling the hard truths, not necessarily pointing out the things nobody really wants to hear, but the hardest thing is to hold the vision and to hold the possibilities, because shit gets really tough, shit gets really hard, and it's like trudging through. But instead, we can focus on, this is where we want to go. This is the dream. This is the North Star. This is the direction we're headed towards. And these are the possibilities. What if we could do this? How might we? What if this world looked like this? What if we solved these solutions in these ways? And I think it's important to remember this, because it's so hard to get dragged down and pulled down into what's wrong. We spend so much time looking for the cracks. I think it's a self-protection mechanism. So part of leadership and part of creating an atmosphere of safety is really being able to be the person to lead, to inspire and support, creating this culture of celebration for people all around, and then ultimately being the person who does the hardest job ever, holding the vision and possibility. All right, that's it for today, and that's it for focusing on what's right and not what's wrong. I'll see you next Tuesday. Bye.